Hello, hope y'all are all doing well. It's January 7th, and I'm back. So today I'm going to be talking about a lot. So I'm going to start off by talking about I'm going to start off by looking at like current temperatures across the country. Go region by region. I'm going to be talking about pretty much like a very high impact storm system that we're going to be watching, beginning tomorrow through Tuesday, and even potentially Wednesday in some areas. And then I'm going to talk about like the severe weather side of that across the south. I'm going to be talking about the damaging wind threat with that. We're going to be seeing some gusty winds for a large area. And I'm going to be talking about which areas could see like blizzard conditions from that. And then I'm going to be looking a little bit in the longer range towards like this weekend when we could potentially see another system. Uh, so yeah, I hope y'all are all doing very well. It's start second week of 2024 now actually, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're looking at current temperatures right now across the east. We can see cooling down a lot in the interior northeast here. Temperatures already in the teens, maybe in the single digits in some areas of Maine. Uh, 20s across like in areas like Boston, Providence, Hartford, down into like the city. It's probably like about 33, 34. DMV's 41. Most of the southeast, like or the Piedmont area, I guess I should say, like Georgia, South Carolina, like this area here, the area that I circled, let's just say that, is pretty cold, 40s and then some 30s. It gets colder as you head over into Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. It gets colder. And Florida's also cold. Look at that, 40s in northern Florida, 50s in central, and 60s down in southern Florida. Great Lakes are also very cold, right around freezing for much of that area. Central U.S., Texas and Oklahoma are pretty warm compared to average, but then look as you go up to the north here, areas like probably below zero in some areas in North Dakota and Minnesota. Teens for a large area there. And in the west, very cold as well. Similar story. Portland, Seattle around 40. The many areas like most of Montana is below for like the entire state's like frigid. Same with like Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, Idaho, Nevada, Arizona, and New Mexico are also cold. I also saw this. I think Tucson got snow today. I saw like a video on Twitter where they got snow, so that's pretty cool. Hope we get our turn in Georgia here soon. That'd be really nice. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to severe weather. So I actually already filmed this, but I ran out of storage about halfway through. Uh, so yeah, that kind of sucks, but no big deal. It's not a big deal. Yeah, this is our day 2 convective outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. We can see we have an enhanced risk for areas of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and the western Florida Panhandle. 10 sig torr risk, 30 sig wind, and a 15 hail. And then day 3, that enhanced risk just for the recent areas of Alabama, Georgia, and the Florida Panhandle. Slight risk all the way into the central areas of the peninsula, and then over into eastern North Carolina. So let's begin talking about this now. So, excuse me. Sorry if I cough a little bit. I'm not feeling the best. I believe I'm probably sick, so that's kind of what's causing that, so I apologize. But yeah, tomorrow afternoon, we can see we have our cold front, some storms in this area of Texas here. Damaging wind will be like really the main threat with these. Tornado threat won't really exist, but as we go throughout the night, or throughout the afternoon and into the night, as we see, we'll see that pretty much this kind of sums it up here. This would load in here. Let's see. Yes, once we see these 850 millibar winds like really begin to overlap, we just see an explosion of storms for much of this area down in like Louisiana and Mississippi. And with that, where we have like more instability along the Gulf Coast, we will be seeing a pretty decent severe weather threat. We take a sounding in Louisiana, yeah, look at that. So the shear profiles are pretty decent. Plenty of instability though. DK around 1,000. The Hodo is all right. So yeah, I mean that's why we have our tornado threat. It's still, even though I say the sounding is all right, that doesn't mean it's not condoning of severe weather. That just means it's not like, even if I say it's bad, it's still you can still get tornadoes out of that. Of course, it just means like it's not like the best sounding you can possibly have for like tornadoes, which you never really see. I mean, you're never gonna have a perfect sounding. Like you'll always find something wrong with it. And then we can see as we go throughout the night, the HRRR indicates more of a squall line. Excuse me, heading into the southeast. 15Z. This would be 10 a.m. We take a sounding in Valdosta, Georgia. Besides that, shear profiles and everything are decent. Nahodo actually looks really good on this. The only thing we lack is instability, which could be an issue, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see like weaker embedded tornadoes with this line. And then even in this area here, kind of has my eye too, because this area here kind of does see a lot normally from these types of systems. So, and we'll also have a decent bit of instability crawling up into that area there, so we could be seeing some more like supercells pretty much. Uh, Also, we just have like more shear pretty much in that area as well as we go throughout Tuesday evening. Excuse me. Yeah, so that's a little sum up of the severe weather risk. Now let's go ahead and move on to the wind threat. So these are our wind gust swaths throughout the entire run of the HRRR, and this includes like the actual cold front wind, like the winds before the front, and like the winds from like that we see along it, and on the backside. So a lot of these areas here, like everywhere, pretty much sees like gusts up to like 40 miles per hour, and then I mean a couple areas stand out. Of course, this area here, this area here, this area back here. Excuse me. And yeah, we like gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour for a large portion of the southeast. I think with the squalling, we could easily be seeing winds of over 60, considering winds are so strong aloft. Uh, Same back over here in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama. And then back over here, these winds are on the back side of the system. I believe. Let me check that real quick. Actually, no, some of them aren't. But yeah, you're going to be getting a lot of wind in the the plains as well. Gusts up to around 50 in many areas like Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Wichita, Kansas City, down into like Dallas. So that's pretty much the wind case. Now, a lot of these areas are in a drought, so with the I mean, even though we are seeing a large amount of rain, we're going to be seeing like 2 to 3 inches of rain for a large portion of this area. Take a look at that. Yeah, look at that. That's our rainfall map there, 2 to 3 inches for like a large area. It's going to be kind of we're in a drought, so I mean that's going to be on our side at least with this, so we don't get as many trees falling, hopefully. But that rain will like soften the ground a little bit. We could be seeing that become a little bit of an issue. And also, this rain up here is falling as snow, so yeah, you're not going to get an inch of rain in like eastern Iowa there. That's all going to be snow most likely, which we're going to look at in just a second. I forgot there's one other thing I wanted to look at. I think it was don't have it on here. Oh wait, actually, yeah, they do. I lied. Okay, here's 850 millibar winds. These are our winds like right above the surface, and yeah, that is excuse me, that is insane right there. That's like some of the strongest I've ever seen. So that's why we're going to be seeing such a big wind threat. With any of these storms, we could be seeing those winds hit the like touch the ground and be brought down to the surface. That's the issue. Like that's winds right there of 85 knots near like over Milledgeville, Georgia, Macon. I've never seen that strong in Georgia, really. I don't think. So I mean, that's significant for us. I think some areas will definitely gust to 60 from that line for sure when that cold front comes through. And even on the backside of this, yeah, we're still like winds aloft are still like 40 to 50. This is actually in knots, by the way. So I didn't mention that. That's probably about 100 miles per hour. Oh, right there. So yeah, a little worse than I thought. Actually, I wasn't looking at that. I forgot this was knots. Wow, yeah, that's crazy. Now the winter weather side of things. So by tomorrow morning, this is 6 a.m. Central Time, starting to see our low move out into the plains. We have some snow falling across areas of southeastern Colorado, New Mexico, Kansas, and then as we go throughout the day, we can see as we see this like band of like pretty much this band of rain moving. We see cooling due to that it cools down the pretty much the whole entire column of air down by the surface, and we see switch over to heavy snow in a lot of areas like Kansas City, most of northern Missouri, and then eventually as far as like Indiana and Ohio as we get into Tuesday morning. And on the north side of this, on the north side of the low, where we don't have that, we will be like pretty much completely as snow, and you'll never switch over to rain in areas like Omaha, Des Moines, and like areas of like pretty much eastern Iowa. Northern Illinois will be getting hit like slammed by this. We can see we have this really heavy band of snow Monday night in this area, kind of stretching all the way back over here too. And then as that low kind of moves over this area, some of those southern locations do switch over to rain during like the Tuesday during the day. But some of these areas just get more snow on the backside as well, and this stays snow like the entire system. Like these areas here, are going to get dumped on potentially if the HRRR is correct. Total snowfall from this off the HRRR is like expansive. We have 15 inches in Nebraska. Now a lot of this is because it's so cold, so we're seeing those snow ratios are really uh like they're really high, I guess is the correct word. But yeah, like over a foot of snow for a large area here. Uh, Over a foot of snow potentially in these areas here. And a lot of this is going to be really wet snow the far south you go. But areas like Peoria, it's been kind of downtrending, like maybe 3 to 4 inches for those areas. But then further north just gets dumped on. The GFS is a little further south, as we can see here, but still, these areas here just get like getting a guaranteed foot of snow pretty much. I'm curious what the European has. Let's see. European is fairly similar to the HRRR, with the main area of snow setting up across this area here, and then a little bit further south. Even northwestern Arkansas picks up snow in the Euro. Dang, that's pretty cool. I don't think the GFS has that. Let's see. No, or it does actually. Okay, my bad. Last model is the NAM 3, and yeah, that's pretty similar to the HRRR, a little bit further south though, with the snowfall in Illinois, Missouri. But yeah, look at that. Even snow on the backside in Tennessee, Kentucky, northern Alabama, maybe northwestern Georgia as well. So pretty interesting system here. It's a pretty classic cutter, although this one is fairly significant. Last thing I want to talk about with this system is the Northeast, and I believe we're still having. Actually, no. So we see this first like thump of snow, and it's really, and then it switches over really quickly, as we can see. So we had that snow come in Tuesday afternoon in areas of PA. Like central, it starts off in central PA snow, and then that rain line pushes north. Northern PA does pick up snow in New York, and then it just that rain line shifts eventually all the way up to like Maine. As this low tracks to the northeast. It's like with that low is positioned. Let's see. Looks like our low is about. Well, it's in Canada at this point. Uh, Both of them are in Canada, so yeah, it's struggling to stay as snow. It's like a wintry mess just across like all of Maine. This is 7 a.m. Wednesday morning. We're still seeing a large amount of rain across areas like all the northeast, and then some snow maybe limited up in northern Maine. But like total snowfall accumulations from this are like very low. Like some areas could pick up like a decent bit in central PA. Wouldn't be surprised a lot of areas here overperform, especially in the higher elevations. Maybe like 3 to 4, maybe even 6 inches. Most of New York could probably get like 1 to 2 inches, except for like southeastern New York, and maybe even far western New York. And then Maine picking up a good bit too, maybe even a foot in some areas, just due to it staying snow for pretty much like a longer time. The HRRR are very similar, kind of with that hot spot being like in this area of Pennsylvania, and then this area of New York picking up like a little bit of snow. It's like it's enough to make the ground white though, which is good. But then it switches over to rain. That's just kind of a mess you got. That kind of sucks, but yeah. So that's the northeastern part of this. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about that system. Looking at the entire thing here on the GFS for the entire country, you can see that. And I want to talk about snowfall maybe for like Michigan as well real quick, because that's an area I kind of missed. Let's go zoom in on the Great Lakes. So yeah, northern Michigan, the GFS is y'all getting like a foot. Let's see what the European has. The European is a little better most of the time. Yeah, like some of these southern areas here do get a good bit. Like areas of Indiana, like Indianapolis, Columbus, like Toledo, Cleveland, Detroit. But then like the really hot spots like northern Michigan, where it does stay as snow the entire time. And I don't believe the HRRR goes out far enough for this. Let's see. It does actually. It does partly go out far enough. So it's still snowing very heavily in northern Michigan, but the snow comes in to these more eastern locations. Overnight tomorrow night, we can see it switches over to snow as that rain comes in areas like Indianapolis, Columbus. Eventually gets a little bit, and some of the snow will be very heavy at first. So we'll be seeing some huge flakes. Then it switches over to rain for like this huge area here. Huge area starts to snow, and then it just switches over to rain and kind of like ruins that snow. However, like this area here is the hot spot because you're going to be seeing it stay as snow the entire time, and yeah, you're gonna get dumped on. Like it's still snowing heavily at this point, and these are actually our snowfall rates here. Like we can see like 2 inches per hour down in like areas of Ohio, but then where that snow just stays around at like falling at a heavy rate for a very long time is up here in northern Michigan. We just have like 1 inch per hour rates for. It starts at what time is this? 11 a.m. on Tuesday in that area. Then it's still going on very heavily at 7 p.m. So that's why we see so much. Total snowfall is already for this like little portion of the system, and the snow is still falling. We're gonna see more, but already through 7 p.m. on Tuesday, the HRRR has 7 to 8 inches in that area, maybe even a foot. In some isolated locations. So yeah, very significant winter storm up there as well. And I don't believe a lot of these areas have had a whole lot of snow this year, actually. So let me. That is not what I wanted. It is this. That's our 14-day season to date. Actually, no, okay, my bad. A lot of those areas have had snow. We have noticeable like holes though in our snowfall for the season, and that is mainly like the entirety of the South is like pretty much empty. We haven't had any like real southern winter storms yet. This area here is noticeable. Same with this area here. That's pretty much it though. I mean, most of the I'm not sure I buy that. I don't think there's like one area of Wyoming that's gotten no snow. If that's actually accurate, that is crazy. I feel really bad for them. But yeah, so we do need, hopefully this will help fill in a little bit in that area, this system, and then maybe even this area, like the northern part of that as well. Could be seeing some snow on the backside all the way down in this area too. So that'll be good to see. Now I want to talk about the system this weekend. That's pretty much the last thing I'm going to be talking about in today's video. Keep it a little bit. This is not a short video, but I don't want to make it too long. Also, we have our first blizzard warning issued in I think in 11 years by National Weather Service Seattle for some of the Cascades as the system comes in Monday into Tuesday. Look at all that snow up there. It's getting dumped on. So we see this first low kind of move into the plains Thursday. 1,000 millibars in Oklahoma, a little bit of snow. Not really a big deal. This isn't really our impactful low. We see that it does bring a little bit of snow, and then it kind of just dies. But then we see this further south low, 15Z. This is Friday, like mid-morning. We have snow, kind of like light snow showers for a large area here. We have really cold Arctic air to the north. Temperatures. I'll take a look at temperature anomalies. Yeah, look at that. Look at that stuff building up in like the not Northwest Territories, in Western Canada. There, look at that. That's like all 30. That's all more than 33 degrees below average for that entire area. Our max is 60 degrees below average, 61 below average, that's insane. We have snow falling pretty much right where that like where we have some overrunning going on. What are the actual temperatures up there? Okay, that's got to be like, that's like -40, -50 for a large area. Wow, okay. Let's see what the European has at the same time. So that's not. So the European already has our low kind of put together over Illinois at this time with snow all the way back down into like Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas. Another little winter storm for areas of Wisconsin and Michigan. This one's not of the same magnitude though. We still see a good bit of snow in a lot of areas, but it's not as crazy. We're not going to get into totals though in this video for that system, considering it's still pretty far out. But we have that. So the Euro is a little bit further north than the GFS. I haven't looked at the Euro with this, but the GFS I have, and the GFS actually has a winter storm for areas of Arkansas, western Tennessee, Kentucky, like southern, like most of Ohio, southern Indiana, like everywhere, like these more southern locations get snow. Now we see a large amount of cold air pushed into the east. We take a look at our temperatures here, our temperature anomalies, my bad. And yeah, look at that. The entire rest of the run is cold, which is what I want to get into now. We're going to be seeing a big cool down, I think, really centered around January 16th. Let's take a look at GFS ensembles. So pretty much the GEFS. So this is next weekend, Saturday. We have excuse me. we have extreme cold across much of like pretty much the plains, and then up into Canada. And some of that's starting to like eat into the east. Northeast is still pretty above average, of course. Uh, Next week though, that cold air does make it, and the east is cold. It's about it's not like as below average as we had in this area here, but it's still very cold. Like our actual temperatures, like that's pretty much like highs. These are high temperatures on Wednesday, like pretty much off the ensembles, which is insane. On Wednesday, January 17th, that's below like 15. This is the 15-degree line for high temperatures, pretty much right here. Maybe a little bit further south, but like below freezing is like roughly about right here. Like I'm pretty sure we have highs in the 30s, pretty much all the way down to like here. So that's very cold. That is extremely cold, and definitely the coldest I've ever seen the GFS ensembles for us in the east, or us in like pretty much the southeast mainly. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I definitely think we're going to be having a big cool down as we get into next week, at some point, and the operational GFS doesn't quite have that insane cooldown, but the European does. We take a look at the Euro, and got to go back to the 12Z. So this is pretty much what happens. You have the system that comes mid next week. Now this is not gonna happen like this. Okay, this is gonna change. And we just see pretty much extreme cold on the backside. These are low temperatures. I mean, the European has negatives in northwestern Arkansas, which I don't think that's gonna happen. That's insane. But like, it is extremely cold in the backside of this. So I definitely think we're gonna be looking at a pretty big cooldown soon. We'll have to get like we're gonna get more. I'll get more into like pretty much details about it because right now it's still kind of up in the air, like when we're exactly gonna be seeing it. We are right now. We are in a pretty cold pattern for much of the country. Uh, However, it does look like we're gonna be having like pretty much an Arctic intrusion next week. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thank y'all for watching. I probably will have another video out. Let's see, maybe probably Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. We got a pretty busy weekend, but yeah, thank you.